culturally diverse cities are failed ones. Now, England has always been at the forefront of multiculturalism. You know, it started a long time ago, with the Windrush generation and the South Asians in the 60s, I think it was. But at first, well, with the Windrush, you can argue that, some of them were segregated, um, and that kind of put a blanket over the issue of what I'm about to say. But at first, with the South Asians, they integrated well in terms of being respectful citizens and actually respecting the English people. Now, I'm not saying they should bow down to them or anything like that, um, but just to be safe people, just to be, thankful and just be, pretty normal, right? And they were. But the problem was, and the early signs of why multiculturalism doesn't work, is the fact that they lived in separate areas. They were segregated. And I don't think this is, I think this is by choice. I don't think this was to do with them being forced there, right? You can argue with the Windrush generation, maybe, would uh, cancel housing and things like that. They were in their separate, in their, they were in that, they were secluded in those environments. But when it comes to the South Asians, especially immigrants that were coming to England, they could live anywhere they want, right? There's plenty of bad areas that would be away from their other South Asian people. But they chose to live near each other, right? Which makes sense. I agree with that. I think it makes sense to want to be around your own people. But the problem with that is that they didn't integrate and socialize with the regular people to make society harmonious. If you're segregated in one area and all the South Asians are in one area and then all the white people are in this area, how is cultural diversity a strength at that point? You know? And then you fast forward to today, and the telltale signs at the beginning seem to come to the truth today. And yeah, there's so many different cultures in England now, and they still don't integrate well. They still choose to not socialize with other ethnic groups. Now, this isn't just white people and saying like, oh, they don't talk to white people. This is other ethnicities. If I'm talking about cultural diversity, this is, let's say, every culture. I don't see, let's say, like Muslim people who wear, hijabs. I don't see them talking to Eastern European people or South Asian people, you know? So it's nothing to do with one race or anything. I just find it, I just don't understand why people say cultural diversity is our strength when really people come here and they actually segregate themselves from other cultures, and they keep their own culture, and they don't uh they don't integrate correctly into England, and it just becomes, especially like London, it just becomes one free for all. So that's why I think London has become a terrible place to live, and other city, it's a breath of fresh air when I leave the country and I go to other cities, because they don't have this problem. They've got their identity, they've got their culture intact. And me not even being from there, I'm aware they probably wouldn't welcome me with open arms to live there, but at least I still appreciate that they have their culture, and that should never be taken away from the native people of a country or a city. So yeah.